everyone, I'm back with another travel vlog. We stayed one night in JB before heading to Malacca early the next morning. In JB, my family always has a mandatory stop at Ming Ming Roasted Duck. We pretend to look through the menu but end up ordering the same thing every time. Our favorites are the Liang Ping, basically cha shao and shao rou combined, and then we'll get a separate cai bo yu, which I think is pickled radish steamed fish, which is really good. I typically don't like cai bo on its own, but for this dish they actually fried it until it's crispy, so it's really very nice, and there's always a long queue outside. We only did some light shopping in JB because the main part of the trip was the Melaka portion. It was our first time going to Malacca via KTM and taxi instead of the usual coach route that we take. Although the journey took around 4 hours longer than the coach, it provides a peace of mind because the train itself has toilets, so for people who have digestive problems, it could be a good alternative instead of taking the coach. Our journey started at 8:30 and we reached our hotel in Malacca at 6 p.m. I think the main reason was the 2.5 hour stopover at Gemas before changing trains. We started queuing for the train at around 8 a.m. and the people will let you in around 20 minutes before the train departs. We were seated directly at the front. The size of the toilets was similar to airplane toilets, just not as clean. There was an entire cabin dedicated to a cafe where you could buy snacks, cup noodles, actual meals, and cake. I thought the selection that was provided was quite decent for a quick bite on the train. At 1:15 in the afternoon, we finally reached Gemas station, and our aim was to get lunch and rest before our next train. Just a disclaimer that this station is quite ulu, so I think don't expect much variety of choices, but if you're looking for something safe, there's a KFC and also a family mart near the station. The next train that we took was from Gemas to Pulau Sebang, and this train was actually much newer than the previous train that we took. The cleanliness on board was similar to Singapore's MRT, and there were also toilets and a cafe on board. The train ride was from 3:50 to 4:20, so quite a quick ride. After reaching Pulau Sebang, we still had to take a 1-hour taxi ride to our Malacca hotel, which was right next to Mahkota Parade. The Pulau Sebang station seemed even more deserted than the Gemas station, so please take note that if you are expecting to eat at their cafeteria in the station itself, it may be closed, and the eateries right outside may also be closed. Honestly, by the time we reached the hotel, we were absolutely exhausted, but we still wanted to go and eat seafood at Portuguese Settlement. This is a place that I've been eating at since I was 8 years old, and I'm now 26. When you visit, make sure to go to stall 9 and order their butter scallops and salted egg crab dry version. This salted egg crab is so good that if I could choose the last meal before I die, I would choose this salted egg crab. I'm serious. They also converted the jetty into a drinking place, which was quite strange. We used to be able to walk to the end and walk back. It was a literal jetty. We rested early so that the next day we could spend the whole day shopping and eating. Our brunch was Teochew Bak Kut Teh, where we ordered, I think, herbal soup Bak Kut Teh and loba, which I think is pork belly in some black sauce. I don't know what black sauce it is, but it's great. Always get youtiao so you can dip the youtiao into the soup and the black sauce. I love going overseas because I can go math and not pay for any of the meals. After brunch, we walked around the shop houses nearby and we bought Taiyang Bing from this place called Hotkey. Their Taiyang Bing is quite sweet, so if you like desserts, you can try it. I bought 2 boxes and they can last for 3 weeks. The building that contains the cinema at Palawan Mall is completely empty, and you'll need to walk to the center of Palawan in order to access the clothing stores. We stopped at Secret Recipe for tea break before shopping some more and going for dinner at Nyonya Mako restaurant. We were quite shocked at how quiet it was at Malacca because a few years ago, almost everywhere had long queues and we would need to reserve places and come back an hour later. But when we reached this restaurant, there was no queue at all, and it just made me wonder like how much COVID has affected businesses everywhere. Anyway, at Mako we ordered ngo hiang and fried chicken. It was a small meal because we proceeded to Jonker Walk right after and were prepared to eat street food. You can also try the beef rendang if you're not scared of spicy food. Out of all the places that we visited in Malacca, I think Jonker Walk was the only place that retained the volume of tourists from previous years. On the next day, we had more shopping at Park Sen, and for brunch, we ate at Zhong Thai restaurant. We ordered the cheese bee hoon and crispy Uhua Rou pork. I'm aware that there's another more famous restaurant called Tong Sheng, but I think they taste pretty similar and the other restaurant always has a long queue, so you should try restaurant Zhong Thai instead. For dinner, we went to Portuguese settlement again, and this time we ordered more crab because the first time we went it was not enough, and the total meal added up to 224 ringgit. But I didn't pay for it, so it's not my problem. This is such a peaceful place. If I ever am able to do freelance work, I will move here. Also remember to tell them that you're eating at stall number 9. On our last day in Malacca, we went to eat lunch at Ole Sayang restaurant, and we always order the black pepper beef, which is not spicy at all, it's just savory, and rendang chicken, which is a bit spicy but honestly quite tolerable. Sometimes I get a stomach ache from the oiliness of the beef, but I think it's worth it. Just make sure you don't eat it on a day where you need to travel. This side of the Palawan Mall near Hotel Equatorial was the building which had no stores open from the 3rd floor and above other than the cinema. We had more dessert at Secret Recipe and shopping before we ate our last meal in Malacca. We ate chicken rice balls at Bang, which was a lot better than I expected, and we overestimated the number of chicken rice balls that we could eat. We ordered 20 but could only finish 12, so maybe next time take note that each person can eat around 4. My dad was showering halfway when suddenly there was a blackout in our room, so we had to call the help desk and they moved us into another connecting room on our last day, which was quite funny. Well, we got a bigger room with more space, so I was quite happy. On our way back to Singapore, we basically took the reverse journey from when we came. So we took a 1-hour taxi ride to Pulau Sebang, then a train from Pulau Sebang to Gemas, then a train from Gemas to JB and a bus from JB to Singapore. So it was quite a long journey from 11 a.m. to maybe 9 p.m. when I finally reached home. Apparently from the middle of next year, there's going to be a train directly from JB to Pulau Sebang, so there's no need for a stopover at Gemas, and hopefully this makes the journey simpler and less tiring. Once again, the station is quite deserted and none of the eateries nearby were open, so remember to plan your meals and bring along bread or something in case you're hungry. I'm quite thankful for this trip because I really wanted to go to Malacca, but I knew that my IBS may not be able to withstand a coach journey all the way there, so the fact that there was this alternative was great for me. Malacca is like a second home to me and I'm excited to go again next year. Hopefully the train journey will be a lot faster and I'll be able to vlog the entire trip again. See you next time.